One of Australia's biggest political parties has suggested we legalise cannabis, and do we even need to say which party it was? Of course the first to crack was going to be
explosive.
And take it from Dr. D. Marijuana legalization is a medicinal issue, man. Just one of the key reasons the Greens and everyone with a Pulp Fiction poster in their living room thinks that marijuana should be legalised. And before you start furiously typing,
well, it is a medicinal issue. You're the only reason I'm smoking right now. You kicked off my anxiety!
Yeah, I know it's a medicine, so is fucking SERP. I still don't think you should be smoking it, and I know you are. Look, you're imagining my head as a bowl of nachos right now, aren't you?
As sure as my eyes are red.
Wait, I got famine!
Fuck mum's home! Don't come in, mum! I'm getting dressed!
I still think that smoking marijuana should be reserved exclusively for Scott Morrison. Clearly that guy has some suppressed memories he needs to deal with, but when you smoke weed, the only suppressed memory that comes out of your mind is,
oh, fuck, man! I forgot how fucking funny SpongeBob is.
Sure, some potheads are able to get on with making a life for themselves, usually revolving around hemp, but the vast majority of heavy users don't end up doing anything productive with their life other than be the first to test whether or not V-flavoured donuts taste good. Which I'll admit is a valuable service. Everyone was secretly wondering what this stoner I know confirmed about V-flavoured donuts when he said, quote,
oh, it tastes like V, bro.
But seeing as you're not going to listen, just as no one listens to anti-smoking and anti-drinking ads like we do with smoking and drinking, tax the fucking addicts. In Colorado, legalizing marijuana created 18,000 jobs. It generated $2.4 billion of economic activity. That led to $121 million in tax revenue, and by 2020 it's expected to bring in more tax revenue than unwacky tobacco, otherwise known as
the lad's pacifier. Suck, suck, suck.
In Australia, very rudimentary estimates claim that legalising marijuana will generate $3.5 billion in tax revenue. And that's off the estimate that just 35% of Australians smoke marijuana, which maybe 35% of Australians are smoking marijuana right now as I speak.
Oh, thumbs up when he said that you were pulling a cone right out of a bong Howard.
But those stats are like when you ask men if they've had an affair and 70% of them say,
yeah, funny you should mention that. I was just on my way to my side chick's house now.
While only 30% of women say,
I was going through a rough patch!
Just admit it. Every single one of you, while you're at uni's fucked a DJ, while you're dating a guy who works at Foot Locker. The point is, because it's an illegal business, we can't estimate what the tax revenue of legalizing marijuana is going to be, but it's my personal guess that it's going to be way higher than $3.5 billion. But whatever the figure is, billions of dollars a year that could be going towards funding railways, disability services, or if the Liberals are in power, huge handouts of public money to private health insurers. Lord knows we deserve it. All that potential tax is instead going to some real-life Otto in Fitzroy so he can buy 2 PlayStation 4s.
Just in case someone wants to borrow one, because whether the weed money's going to me or the government, either way, it's helping out the community.
And the fact that cannabis isn't currently regulated? Put aside the fact that guys like him deal to 15-year-olds because
I started smoking weed at 12 and look at me now. 2 PlayStation 4s. Weed guides your soul. It's like a spiritual parent.
Weed is my mum because it nurtures me. Shrooms are my dad because it takes me on trips. Why not have a regulated, consistent supply to not only prevent that, but increase overall productivity as it'll free up millions of collective man hours as Australians will no longer have to talk to their dealer for an hour a week about...
Bro, have you looked at the moon through a telescope? It's clearly a projection.
Why not take the burden off the police force that process up to 80,000 arrests a year for the heinous crime of watching The Blue Planet too many times? That would allow us to refocus law enforcement resources on attacking the real criminals. Oxygen thieves. Why not have a quick, economically beneficial, overall reduction in net crime, as in US states where marijuana has been legalized, alcohol consumption is noticeably reduced. As such, King hits have been replaced with Burger King having later opening hours. Dr. D has the right prescription, man. Just like it is with gambling and alcohol, it is far better to regulate than criminalize these activities as it's going to happen anyway. Ask your stepdad who has a drinking problem, never admits it even though the bin is overflowing every Thursday.
Everyone has a vice.
So let's channel that vice into a greater public good by getting some damn tax out of it. Then later down the road, maybe we can talk about legalising my vice. Cockfights! Just admit you want to see that on Fox Hill. Live on pay-per-view, 200 roosters versus 3 midgets.
I ate red roosters for lunch.
Alright, save it for the fight. Save it for the fight, boys.
Please share and comment below. Comment!
È sempre misero che adesso fida chi le confida qualcosa ormai non sentesi felice